My first vehicle ever was a 1960 push-button transmission Plymouth Belvedere, and I bought it for $50.
We were free to travel, we could do everything we wanted, so that was probably the biggest investment of our lives at that time.
When it rains, the only way to actually start the vehicle is to open up the hood, pull out a screwdriver and short-circuit the solenoid and work the throttle at the same time.
My mom had made curtains for the sides of the back, and they had put a mattress in the back and put the seat down.
And I have a vivid memory of watching all of these cars slide down on either side of us back down the hill.
What I love about driving is the meditational aspect of it.
I in fact did hit the red light and suffered through, I think I almost burned the clutch on my first day with the car.
That I got engaged in the back of a Blue Line taxi on Christmas Eve, 1987.
The Automotive Industries Association of Canada has been a meeting ground and advocate for Canada's thriving automotive aftermarket for 75 years. Back in 1942, a handful of auto parts wholesalers came together to connect, socialize, and consolidate their position within the industry.
So 75 years ago when the AIA started, it really is about an association that brought together all the wholesalers in the automotive sector, the automotive aftermarket. So AIA has evolved since to embrace the supplier, warehouse distributors, people in the collision sector, a major retailer. But at its core, when it started, was really a place where people that are the jobber of the time, or the wholesalers, were able to get together.
AIA's mandate is to promote, educate, and represent all members of the automotive aftermarket supply chain. There is an expanded focus today with AIA's Automotive Service Providers Council, which is hyper-focused on repairers' rights and information access to ensure fair navigation in today's market realities.
Well, over the last few years, we've realized that status quo and doing the same things the same way simply wasn't going to cut it. And so we've made sure to identify and focus on the prize over the last few years, and that is the future sustainability of the aftermarket.
We are the voice in front of the government. I do believe it is important to have a strong voice in front of our federal, provincial, or even local government. The best thing that we can do for the industry is be their voice when a legislation needs to change, a bill needs to be passed. We need to be included in the discussions with all the decision makers, and this is what we do for the industry.
The concept behind YES, beyond just simply a group of younger individuals at the time, was AIA having the courage to realize that their value equation at the time was somewhat under either question or review from different parts of the industry, and well ahead of their time from the perspective of representation of diversity. But what we need for success is just younger, innovative, evolved thinking regardless of age.
All of the major collision repair networks completely engaged in I-CART training. So that's been the foundation of our service to the industry, but we've built on that to include the forum, to include the data gathering, and I see us as the central hub of information sharing and training for the collision sector in Canada.
There's been all sorts of different fundraising, but it's taken some time to get where it is today, and it's really still, I think, in its infancy, based upon money's in, money's out. We also combined what was left of the scholarship programs under the High Fives for Kids banner, which also increased the available funds, and I think you'll be seeing some good things come out about regenerating a scholarship program that would be good for all membership, not just specifics on what it is today.
This is a time for the AIA to make sure that we have a clear focus on the most important strategic topics for our association for the benefit of our members. It is the go-to place, the resource for not just our members, but also for key stakeholders in our industry.
A key role that AIA has to play is one of awareness, is to explain to people the importance of the automotive aftermarket. In all the small little towns across Canada you're going to go to, you will most likely find a place to repair a car as well as a place that sells car parts. And all combined, this equates to about a $21 billion industry that continues to grow and employs close to 400,000 people in Canada. So it is bigger than agriculture, it's bigger than many other segments of the economy.
As AIA steers towards a shifting demographic, a more complex and connected vehicle, electrification and automation, the future means change. The times are exciting indeed for Canada's automotive aftermarket, and AIA is at the helm.